Howdy, mates. How are we doing today? No, really. How are we? This amidst of what is happening in the world currently, especially for what is occurring over in Israel. I know that I don't really mention about those types of events going on, but I do know that it's really putting up some unease in especially that part of the world. And for those of us who may know people over there. So this is just basically my way of saying I'm not completely ignoring it, but I also want to avoid setting an impression that I am what you call apathetic either. So, by the way, we are over at what is known as the Morton Arboretum as of this moment. Founded by Joy Morton. He was a well-known arborist back in the earlier 1900s. I'll have to look into when exactly the Arboretum began. But what that term means is a designated area where trees are protected as well as cultivated too and studied upon. The true name for the study of trees is arbory, hence the term arboretum. So think of it in a way, it's like a museum, but specifically for trees. And I tell you what, it has really been a bucket list item for quite some time, because you have to also figure the Morton Arboretum has one of the largest tree databases on the internet. And so doing my own research on different species in the past, whether it was for my blog or even while I was attending Wittenberg University, Morton Arboretum is by far one of the best sources, and it's reliable too. You know, it goes down to the specifics, like what type of tree it is, what is its distribution, what kind of insects is it a host for, what kind of food does it grow. It gets down into the very specific detail, and I love it. The section that we're at right now is pertaining to the conifers. And, of course, you may have noticed, you may be seeing a number of different pines. Well, here's the thing. Conifers, I feel like those two are used very interchangeably. Conifers describes a whole group of trees. And pine is just an example of a conifer. So other forms of trees that fit under conifers can include, of course I said pine, spruce, fir, and those are just a couple that I can name right off the top of my head. Of course, there are a number of separate conifers. Now, when it comes specifically to the reproduction, conifers are known as gymnosperms. Gymnosperm is basically a Latin term. Gymno basically meaning naked. And what that means is, when it comes to, such as this example right here, a pine, I'm trying to see if there's like a tree tag on it. Well, anyway, they'll produce a cone. Usually the male cones are situated higher up on the tree. Oh, there you go. There's one right there. Whereas the female cones, they're usually a bit situated to the lower branches, because you have to figure, of course, the male cones are producing the pollen, and then it trickles its way down to meet with the female cones. Yeah, here we go. Here's an example right here. Vanderwolf's pyramid limber pine. Huh. So that's another thing too. Some of the trees that they do cultivate here, sometimes you wouldn't always see in, say, the eastern United States. So it's a bit of a combination of both, as it were. So, why should we really care about these trees? Or I should say these conifers? Well, they've held a long belief in different cultures as a symbolism. And, for instance, in Japan, they believe a number of different conifers represent being one with the divine. And actually, here we go. This is why we should care. It's provided for a number of different cures. Eastern white pine is a very popular one. Yep. The source of an antioxidant. You can even forage, too, for different cuisines. Throughout their history. Oh, that's fascinating. I actually did not know this right here. The Wright brothers, their first successful plane was built from spruce. Well, how about that? Huh. Even I'm learning something too. And here we go. So it's even used in a number of different products. The wood pulp. And turpentine. Ponderosa. Oh my goodness. Talk about nostalgia. I remember when I was a wee lad, my family and I, we used to go to Ponderosa to go eat at a buffet. I don't even think they exist anymore. My goodness. So cool. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something of value. And Journey on a Journey is onwards. Take care.